What's up, guys? Today I'm here to show you something that I've been working on. Um, and first you can see Aether, Immersive Engineering, and Tinker's Construct. Now it's meant to be compatible with quite a few more mods. For those wanting to make mod packs that are both tech plus Aether, you can't really do that without something in between, like a way to turn iron into arcanium, for example, or a way to get diamond gears via ex nihilo. One of the two. How do you go about making a mod pack doing that? Well, with what I've been working on, I have made some items that somewhat follow the lore and have their own little lore entries in there just as little fun things. And I call it Aercloud Engine, which, if you've seen Tech Compat mods before, you would know is a poke at Volt's engine. But since it's Aether, obviously Aercloud Engine. So these are the items that I've made. So couple things to note right off the bat. Some recipes aren't complete, some recipes will be changed, and some things don't work as intended, but at this point it's perfectly suitable to use for your mod pack. Just keep in mind some things will change in the future, so always be ready to change things in and out, add things, remove things from your configs. So for one, we have Valkyrum ore, Valkyrum ore, which will generate using Cough World, as I could not figure out how to make it generate in one of the Aether dimensions. So using Cough World configs, which you can find on the GitHub, I have one set up that will make it generate in Aether Legacy and Aether Highlands. In Aether Legacy, it should generate all over the island in very small batches, and in Highlands, which is the latest, Aether 2, you should be able to find it lower on the island, but still also in small batches. And smelting it will get you one nugget. One nugget can be used for a plate, and the plates can be used for crafting the legacy tools, the legacy armors, or the gear, which is registered as gear diamond, so you can use it in recipes such as the quarry recipe from Buildcraft. So then you can make your quarry, and it's also compatible with mods like Tinker's Aether. So if I go ahead and drop some Valkyrum ore in here, and just to show you that it works, it should. It'll take a minute, but while it's doing that, let me show you this. So I've also added an item to replace coal coke, since you can't get coal. So obviously, you'd get your ambrosium, and you'd put it in the coke oven. Now this is configurable, obviously. All of this is configurable by Craftweaker, and it's meant to be used with Craftweaker. There's really no point to using it at all if you're not going to use Craftweaker, as some items don't even have recipes. For example, there's no recipe for, I'm sure you can hear me clicking, there's no recipe for the ore sands, which can be disabled if you don't have ex nihilo, but those are there for those who want to use them. Then there's some tools. There's crafting tools, which also have their own ore dictionary entries. These crafting tools can be used for things that require you to use a tool in a crafting grid, and I'm pretty sure that if you set it up properly with Craftweaker, you can make it also take damage. I was unable to make it take damage without breaking the item itself, as I'm not very experienced. So, as you can see, I put my ore in there, and I got out Tinker's Aether Molten Valkyrie Metal, which can then be casted into blocks. And just like Tinker's Construct, you can use any size smeltery. Anyway, so you get your coked ambrosium. There we go. Alright, so we got coked ambrosium, which is registered as fuel coke. So for any recipes using coal coke, you can use that as well. I will be adding coked ambrosium blocks and ambrosium blocks, since Gilded Games doesn't have their own version of ambrosium blocks. Now, you can use this to make steel. Eventually, I plan on making a steel counterpart for Arcanium. That way, you can still make things like steel scaffolding and steel, pretty much everything else. But right now, you're going to have to deal with using things such as, let's see, ex nihilo, for example, to do so. Now, another thing I have are these wires, which I do plan on making usable, like placeable and actually transmit power. I also have plans for making using Forge energy to make a generator that actually transmits power. So to make these, you'll get your Airlight insulation, which is a poke at starlight. So you'll get that, and that is crafted with there it is, golden amber and cloud wool cloth, and you get cloud wool cloth from wire cutters and a cloud wool carpet. And you'll use the arcanium wire, which you get from a wrench and wire cutters to make an arcanium strip to make 4 of those. And you'll get these. These are the ones that I have that will be placed. These ones will only be used in recipes. There are dusts, and as far as I have configured it so far, this is not my config. This is a config for a mod pack that someone else is working on, that it actually incorporates my mod into it already. But all these can be turned into their nuggets, which can then be turned into their plates, just for kind of balancing. I don't want it to just dust a plate yet. However, you can also use the metal press, which I think this is in here by default. Because I don't remember doing this. It also may be the mod pack config that I copied over. But this will get you gravitite plates, and you can do the same with arcanium, and you'll get arcanium plates. And here, if you smelt this, you'll get a Valkyrum plate. So crushing it into dust is a hell of a lot more efficient than getting the ore. So you're going to want to do that if you want to be able to craft things like the gears, the shovels, and the armors, and all the Valkyrie stuff. Also, if you turn off the cape in the Aether Legacy config, I have not tested this, but this recipe should disappear, just for those who don't want the cape in there. Crushing the plates will get you that. These are not registered in the crusher yet. Once I figure out how to blend immersive engineering into my mod itself, I should be able to get all these recipes to be part of the mod, but I don't want to have to rely on immersive engineering as a hard dependency. I want it to be an optional dependency that the recipe is just not there if you don't want it. However, we have the gears as well, which I think I've showed off already. Some have recipes that work with Buildcraft, and some are registered to work with Buildcraft. So right here, you can use this in place of a stone gear for a wrench. And however, the recipe for the Skyroot gear is you can't make it with sticks. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to make a wooden gear, and you'd have a recipe conflict. However, you could use no more recipe conflict, but I'm trying to limit the amount of external recipe-based mods. So right now, all you need is Cough World and Craft Tweaker to make these work with whatever other mods you want, really. Most of these items are just mainly used for recipes. Actually, all of them are used for recipes. And if you guys have any ideas for what else I should add, you can submit it as a suggestion under issues on the GitHub page, which will be linked down in the description. And Curseforge page, you could also comment there, which will also be linked down in the description. I'll also link the Discord to the Aether, and I'm setting up a server for specifically my mods since I'm starting to work on mods now. I'm actually going to rewrite an old mod of mine. Well, not too old, but like February, because I lost the source code for it, so I have to rewrite it from scratch. But you should be able to find all the resources down in the description, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of mod packs you guys come up with this. I know it's nobody asked for it, but I figured I'd fill the niche anyway. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Peace.